Have you ever been scrolling and just suddenly realize a friend has gone dark? Poof, vanished from social media? Or maybe you've even felt that little pull to do it yourself. Well, today we're diving into why stepping back from that constant pressure to post isn't about giving up at all. Actually, it might just be one of the most powerful choices you can make.
This old chestnut. If you don't post it, did it really happen? We say it as a joke, right? But underneath, there's a real anxiety there. This nagging fear that our amazing experiences, our little moments of joy, they don't quite count unless they're seen, liked, and validated by everyone else. So yeah, let's really dig into that.
So to really get why someone would choose to step back, we first have to understand what exactly they're stepping back from. And boy, is it a big one. This nonstop, immense pressure to perform our lives online.
And it's a real feeling, isn't it? This idea that if you go on an amazing vacation or even just have a fantastic cup of coffee and you don't broadcast it, it somehow feels less real. Like the experience itself isn't quite enough. It needs that digital stamp of approval to feel complete.
This constant pressure to perform feeds directly into what you could call the myth of online validation. This core belief that a feed just jam-packed with activity is the ultimate sign of a happy, successful, well-lived life.
Okay, so here's where we kind of flip the whole script. We're so trained to see a busy, polished feed and think, wow, they must be so happy. But what if the reality is the complete opposite? What if a constant stream of posts is really a search for approval, while real, deep down confidence is quiet? Because, it just doesn't need an audience. I mean, this is the social script we're all handed, right? We see tons of posts, and our brain just instantly connects the dots. Lots of pictures with friends means a vibrant social life. Posts about work mean professional success. It's become the default currency for social value. But you have to ask, is it really telling the whole story? So if that first story is all about performing for the crowd, what's the alternative? Well, let's get into the psychology behind a totally different approach, what we're calling the art of quiet power. It's all about making that deliberate, conscious choice to step back. A huge piece of this puzzle is something called digital minimalism. Now, this isn't about becoming a hermit and throwing your phone into a river. Think of it more like decluttering your digital house. You're not getting rid of everything, just the junk that doesn't serve you. It's about being super intentional and only spending your time on the few online things that actually line up with what you value.
And you really can't practice that kind of minimalism without this next ingredient: secure self-esteem. Think of it like a deep, heavy anchor for your sense of self. It means your worth isn't a little boat getting tossed around by the daily waves of likes, comments, and follows. It's anchored inside you, totally stable, no matter what the digital weather is doing.
And that leads us right to the third pillar here, self-concept clarity. So if your self-esteem is the anchor, think of this as your inner compass. It's knowing, with real confidence, who you are and what you're about. When that internal compass is strong and pointing true, you stop looking at everyone else's map to figure out your own path.
And when you put those three things together, the intentionality of minimalism, that anchor of self-esteem, and the compass of self-clarity, what do you get? You get this: a stable, solid identity that doesn't need a single external like to feel valid. It's an identity that's already whole, with or without an audience.
So what does this all actually mean for us? Well, it means we might need to totally reframe our entire idea of what strength and confidence look like. It's about finding that power not in all the noise, but in the quiet.
For so long, we've been taught that to be strong, you have to be loud. To be influential, you have to be visible. That your value is measured in follower counts. But maybe it's time to challenge that. Maybe true strength isn't about being seen by everyone.
And this is the real takeaway. It's about building an inner world that's so rich and a sense of self that's so strong that your life feels deeply meaningful, even when no one is clapping for you. It's about that quiet contentment you feel in the moments that are lived just for you and for you alone.
So, I'm going to leave you with a question to chew on. If you took away the audience, if you muted that little impulse to share and perform, what would you create? What would you do? What would you experience purely for yourself? The answer to that question? Well, that's where your real power is. Thanks for joining this Explainer.